Guys, I've got a Chaos Vindicator. Plastic, I love it. Dudes, I have a problem with this even before I open the box. That to me is a seed shield. Same on the back. Seed shield, seed shield. Have I got this wrong? And in the box it says you can only take a dozer blade, and it gives you all the dozer blades you get with all the other vehicles. So am I being a bit picky here? Probably. But why don't you just get the seed shield? We'll get on to what's in the box. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 sprues and our instructions on how to build this, and also our Chaos transfer. We all love to see these transfers. I'm 100% certain when I show you these under the camera, you are really interested. We have our instructions again, French, Italian, Spanish, and so on, and how to build the boyo. It's basically the same old Rhino chassis pretty much, and then with a couple of different bits on the front. But yeah, basically a Rhino chassis. Get rid of that stuff. We start off with this sprue that will be familiar to everybody. This is your Rhino chassis you start with. Like, here's the top for your Razorback. Of no use in this. One of the sides, internal of one of the sides, that's the bit that nobody ever gets to see once it's stuck together. Back door, very important. Tracks, all our tracks as per usual numbered. Front, but I don't think you use this front because you have to fit a huge big gun in. The other side of the panel and the 2 side doors. And our other one is basically the reverse. Oh, I didn't even point out the biggest thing in this here. The top that we all need to use. The other side of this one is your floor. Standard, all this vehicle group uses this floor. I don't know of any that doesn't. Your little panel that goes inside that has a gun. You always want to have this gun. This is very handy for the crew. You have your little visor slot. Don't know in this build if I use this because of the big huge gun at the front. Again, we have, sorry, turn this around the right direction. Our panel. We have our little, I believe it's a marine symbol here. I don't think the Chaos use this bow too often. The parch for the top of it. Tracks. Lots of tracks. All again, like the other one, numbered to show where they go. Very useful. We have our front lights, our indicators, and the battle to show your friends and enemy. I'm going left, I'm going right. The other side of your panel then for the, I believe this is the right hand side of the vehicle. And we have our main bit, the bit we all like, the bit with the big gun. We have our seed shield that I was given off about. I would say in this one for the Chaos, you just use this as a dozer blade. In the next sprue you have a dozer blade, but I don't see the point of it. We have our mountings here. I believe these would be used as part of the mounting of the shield onto the front of the vehicle. Yep, I believe all these little bits here as well will somehow connect this all together. I'll see whenever I'm building the boil. We have the top of our vehicle, which is slightly different from the bog standard Rhino chassis. Here we have our mounting for our gun, our little fans that our Vindy has to use that the regular guys don't get to use. Here we have the alternative front, and we have part of our shell. It's like an extra shell that hangs off the back of the vehicle. This is the alternative front. There's where your little searchlights would go, or your little lights would go. This is where your gun points out. That's the other half of this shell, that there. Some more mounting options for the, I take it it's a dozer blade even though it looks like a seed shield at the front. And some more mountings here. I believe these are for your gun. These here bits here are, and this is your gun here. Now, don't jump on me guys if I've got some of these bits wrong. and here's just a little bit of paneling. Here's your sides. The sides here sort of, you stick these on over the other bit, gives you a more reinforced look for the two side doors. And here is your little targeter looking thing, and a little cover to go over the top of it. Hopefully I've got them bits correct, but I'm sure there's always somebody out there who'll keep me right. And here we get on to our real chaos sort of sprue. We have some skulls, not skulls as such, some animal looking heads that you can fit on your vehicle. You get different options here. You get, what would I say, some of them are, I don't know how you would describe them, but they're like, I don't know if you could say they're lion-esque, they're lizard-like, hard to describe. Here we have our Havoc Launcher. One of the options in this, you can stick a Havoc Launcher on it for, I think it's 10 or 15 points, is it, guys? You have your Havoc Launcher, you have your body of your guy that can stick his head out the top of a perfectly good tank, his arms, the bottom half of him, or this other option here, that's the front of your Havoc Launchers. These are your smoke launchers, as far as I am sure. Here we have our different hatch toppings. I believe that's Chaos Undivided symbol on that. I'm not hugely up with the Chaos symbols, guys. Another hatch top. Part of our mounting for one of our weapons. Here we have mounting for our searchlight. Yep, I would say that's the back and that's the front of it. Here we have different heads. Now I'm not a fan of these just bog standard heads. I like that one though. That's not bad. But I don't see the point of a guy sticking his head out of a perfectly good tank. I don't think it suits fluff wise or anything else. Here we have what I would have said was our dozer blade. But obviously not. We get a huge big shield instead. We have some nice hooks for options to go on. We have our usual Chaos spikes that are all over the Chaos universe. Personally, a couple of them spikes is missing the points. I wouldn't be happy. I'd be sharpening them up. Here we have our symbols. Nurgle, I believe that's Undivided. You can correct me on these. Nurgle and Undivided. Is that Zinch? Not certain, guys. You can fix me up on this. Slanesh, Zeech, Korn, maybe I'm wrong. You can tell me. We have our bolter that you can stick a twin link bolter on this. There is a range of Combi Weapons. This looks like a Combi Flamer to go on the top of it. Don't know if a Flamer suits the best thing. I'd probably rather have my Havoc Launchers than a Flamer, but what are the Combi Weapons? If I had to take any of the Combi Weapons, it would probably be Combi Milta. And here we have the little slots you can stick on the top for your guys to stick their heads out if they're feeling particularly brave. I don't know, I think if I was in a perfectly good tank, I wouldn't bother my ass to stick my head out. But I say that in every video. And if you see some of my vehicles, you do see guys with their heads sticking out. So, pot calling the kettle black and all that. Guys, I'll get this stuck together. Probably going to stick Nurgle on it because I'm a huge fan of Nurgle everywhere. Don't think it does it any great good. Some of the other options you can stick on them is a demonic engine, which means you ignore shaking and stun. This is one of the things that if I face normal Vindicators, I always shoot at it. As soon as it's stunned, I don't give a damn till the next turn because you ain't shooting and I'll save my shooting to get rid of something else. So, going to stick this boy together. Going to see what cheesy chaos options I can come up with it. Definitely Havoc Launchers. Definitely demonic possession. And guys, I'll stop waffling about it and get on and build a thing. Guys, I've got my Chaos Vindicator built. I'm normally not a fan of Vindicators, but of late I have came round to them slightly. This one, I'd be more a fan of this than the bog standard Marine one because you can give it demonic possession, which basically means it can't be shaken or stunned. So if your opponent shoots it and gets a glancing hit on it, which is probably going to shake and stun or weapon destroy it, that isn't a big issue. Weapon destroy is always a big issue for this, and it's pointless running a tech marine round behind it to try and keep it fixed because it's pointless. The weapon Strength 10, AP 2 ordnance. So if you hit another vehicle with the center of the big blast template you get to roll 2 dice and select the highest to see what damage it does. Also, I've stuck a Havoc Launcher on the top of it. Let me show you it in the close camera. This is obviously your big gun, 10 AP2. This moves, and there's a little mechanism inside that allows it to move, but personally, if it was for me, I would just glue it in place so that it was pointing sort of slightly up the ways, because if it is ordnance, I would say it's going a rather than a straight shot at you. Havoc Launcher on top, Strength 5, AP 5. I would buy this, it's 15 points. The standard vehicle is 125. You get the dozer blade for free. I would call it seed shield again, but it's a dozer blade. You get it for free. You get smoke launcher searchlights for free. And then you get some options, combi weapon. I think it gets a combi weapon, but you can buy one of these, 15 points. This gives you the option that if the person does shoot at it, gets a weapon destroyed, at least it still gets some shooting. You know, the 15 points, I don't know whether you say it's worth it or not, but I reckon it is. With it, this here is basically your bog standard Rhino chassis with these extra side bits on, extra top bit on here, and it's different front, and obviously your big shield at the top. Goes together easily. If you've built a marine vehicle before, especially off this Rhino chassis, it's painting by numbers, guys. You just follow the dots. You do get other extra bits of kit. You get your chaos symbols, I believe. Is that Nurgle? You can correct me, guys. I think that's Chaos Undivided, but you can correct me on this. I'm not sharp on the chaos ones. We have our chaos smoke launchers and our little searchlight. We have our little, I don't know if that's a searchlight rather than a little like targeter type light. Searchlight at the back. You have the back door here. This one moves slightly, but pretty much you should glue these shut. I don't see the point, even on Rhinos, I don't see the point of them opening. I see no advantage in it gaming wise. And guys, that's pretty straightforward. The basic vehicle comes with front armor 13, side 11, rear 10. So if you're going to get shot, you want shot in the front. You don't want shot at the side. It all builds easily, guys. There's not a lot I can say about it. To use this, my way of using this would be bail forward as far as you can, turn 1, pop smoke, hope to survive, and then turn 2 and the rest of the game, you're in amongst the opponent's army and you can blast away. The other tactic is just sit it in your side of the board and wait for the enemy to come to you, but it will be a big target. And the thing is, some people sort of get obsessed with shooting these, and you get one of these and another guy fires all his stuff at it and kills it in turn 1. That's an entire round of shooting that he's not firing it. The huge disadvantage with the bog standard marine one is one weapon destroyed, you're gone. A shaken or a stunned, you're gone. If you have that demonic possession, I think it's 20 points, it minuses 1 your ballistic skill. But you're scattering off a blast, so it's not going to be a huge issue to you. It at least means that if you get that shaken or stunned, you get to move, you get to shoot. No big issue. You can always, with these, move up to 6 inches and still fire it. If you sit still, you can fire both weapons. But yeah, guys, all in all, a good kit. More useful in the Chaos Army at 125 points. It's not particularly cheap. By the time you add the upgrades I've put on it, you're coming in 150, 160 points. Still, again, if that big blast comes off once in the game, it'll bring you back your 150 or 60 points easily. You know, I have seen guys deep striking down near this, near these big blasts, just hitting them. Everybody's dead, Dave, basically. So, all in all, a useful piece of kit in its own way. Of the Chaos Heavy supports, yeah, it's maybe the best of them besides your bog standard Land Raider. For me, these two options, these two upgrades, the Demonic Possession and the Havoc Launcher, Strength 5, AP 5, relatively long range. I can't remember if it's 36 or 48. It's probably 48. For me, either go with both or go with neither and just try and keep it cheap. But this is the way I would like it. This is the way I would build it. And all in all, I think it's a good vehicle, good piece of kit. I would never buy one for a normal Marine Army, but for a Chaos Army, yes, I would definitely consider using these. 3 of these for your heavy choices, guys, can be very effective rather than, because you can still take your Land Raiders as dedicated transports for most guys. So, yeah, guys, a good kit. I'll get on, and I'll get on to another video, guys. Justin, if you dare show them pictures of me sucking my fingers, I will destroy you.